that new whip. Hey, who get a do drip?
And we're live.
Welcome to BETT Records, where we talk about hot topics, ideas, and all the shit you really want to hear.
How's it going, guys? Here for week, whatever it is now. I say it every time. I keep losing track. Whatever.
We're just still pushing them out at this point.
Whatever. Got a special guest here for you. Justin the C. Catanazzo.
J-Cab, baby.
J-Cab, baby. What's up, bud?
What's up, Josh? What's up, Trent? Thank you for having me on, guys.
Heck yeah, man. What's been new with you, man?
Not too much. I accepted an internship recently for this summer. I'll be working for the Badlands Big Sticks in North Dakota, Dickinson to be exact. Head marketing and head promotions. It's going to be a great summer.
That's dope. And you said for about 3 months during the summer?
Yeah, May
crap.
18th to August 15th.
No, that'll be dope, though.
Did you say in North Dakota?
Yeah, I know. How can a city kid from Connecticut end up in North Dakota?
Yeah, dude.
Western North Dakota, too.
Where are you going to get, like, your lobster and stuff from? Do they even sell that in North Dakota?
I'll go diving into
You think
the
they
lakes
have
and
red
see.
lobsters in North Dakota?
Well, they have them here in Minnesota.
Yeah, but we got lakes and stuff.
Freshwater.
Have you found
they have
you found a lobster in a lake?
No.
Exactly.
Freshwater lobsters don't exist.
No.
Are there any saltwater lakes?
No.
So
not.
North Dakota then, since it's north of the Dakota,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the north one, not the south one.
not the south one.
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
but so you'd assume it's a little bit more cold,
So they
right?
do have red lobsters.
So all right, should we find out or what?
I think we need to Google this here real
Dude,
quick.
I'm sure in like either Fargo, North
Fargo
Dakota,
might. That
or
doesn't really
something.
count though. Fargo is like basically Minnesota with like that like awkward cousin that comes to family reunions and just kind of hangs out with you, you know, and he just kind of like looks at everybody, and then you and your like one buddy cousin look over at
dude.
him, and you're like, what the fuck is that kid looking at?
There's one in Grand Forks, Fargo, a couple other places too. Bismarck.
Yeah, well, Fargo and Grand Forks are basically Minnesota because they're right on the border.
Dude,
They're
that's
separated
true.
by that
Yeah,
one river.
dude.
You could literally just ride your bike over into the Minnesota
Dude, it's
border.
like,
if you want to talk about real North Dakota, it's Bismarck, Dickinson,
yeah.
and Minot. Those are real
Minot,
North
yep,
Dakota
I've been there.
towns.
Huh.
Those
Yeah.
towns have the biggest populations that aren't bordered by Minnesota. So where I'm going is true North Dakota. But
be
it's
poppin'.
But it's 45 minutes from the border of Montana, so I guess you'd call it Montana too.
That's kind of close,
Yeah, it is.
I suppose.
I mean, the only attraction out there for where I'm going is the Theodore Roosevelt National Park, and
Yep.
that's a very beautiful place
Medora.
to be. And
Oh, yeah.
Josh
Been
actually
there.
suggested me the other day if I had a longboard, that would be a really dope
Yep.
place to be longboarding.
Have you been
every
there
single
too?
day.
No, dude, but just think
I've been
about
there.
it. A
I've been
giant.
there twice.
Wouldn't it be
Yeah.
sweet to
It's super
longboard
fun.
there?
It's super fun. Yeah, all of
And
it's super fun.
And I've never seen a
there's
bison
buffalo.
before.
There's real buffalo that we drove through. Like, there's a national park you can like drive through and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And see like actual animals. And we literally drove through a pack of or a herd, I don't know, of 50 to 80 buffalo
Holy
right through the road. I mean,
80
because
buffalo?
they just made the roads on their grazing land and stuff.
Grazing
It's a
land,
national
yeah.
reserve park, But yeah, it's a tourist thing, and the road just in their walkway to go get food or something,
how
So
big? Because I've never seen
big
a
as my
buffalo.
van.
How big is a buffalo?
as big as a van.
It's
Like a minivan or like a van?
Minivan.
So the mini
As big-
version.
It's
almost
kinda-
as big as a minivan.
it's kind of like those minivans that your parents tell you not to go towards when the ice cream truck pulls up.
Well, no, those are. My mom told me it was the big vans, the ones with the
big
blacked
one.
out windows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't even have windows on the sliding
Yeah,
doors.
dude. It
Those
just
ones,
says
yeah.
free candy on the side, and it's like crappily spray painting, and there's like an underline, so you're like, there must be extra free candy in that one.
Dude, or in 2020, they've been doing free Wi-Fi, bro. That's why there's been so many Amber Alerts lately. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
dude.
just
All the
getting
kids are
it.
trying to get
There
Wi-Fi.
has been,
There's
actually.
been 2 since January 13th. I remember
Yeah.
when I was at
It
retreat.
is kind of crazy, honestly.
When I was at
It's kinda
retreat, we
sad.
were doing a chapter meeting, and there was one for. I looked at my phone, and there was one for Minneapolis saying, "Look out for this
Yeah.
so and so car."
Yeah.
And I think it was I was at work 2 weeks ago, and then another
I
one
remember
popped up,
that
and I'm
one.
like,
Yep.
Middle of the day.
Yep.
"Yeah, middle of the day," and I'm like, I get an Amber Alert like maybe if once a year.
Yeah, normally.
If at minimum.
It's a good system, though.
And it's
Yeah.
2 in 2021, but I kind of, as sad as the whole thing is, I kind of think it's funny when everyone has an alert on their phone at the same time that rings when you're in like a classroom or like 40 people,
Everybody's
and it all dings at the same time. It goes burp or whatever it makes.
Everyone just freezes, stops everything. Oh, hey, look, we're all getting the same message.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of like the apocalypse is coming almost because everyone's getting like an alert on their phone. I feel like.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely something if you're out on a date that's not working out and you run out of something to talk about and then you get the alert, they're like, aha, I got something else we can talk about.
I got something.
Missing children. That's what you're going to talk about on a date.
Yeah.
Huh?
No.
How would you lead that? How would you lead that conversation of missing children?
Let's find him. The FBI probably has a
There
reward
you
for it.
go.
I can cash in on it.
Yeah, what were you
Oh,
thinking,
good.
Josh? He's the good Samaritan that would go and help find the green sedan with license plate MND 364. You know what I mean? So,
You see these missing children they got here? Why don't you and me go back to my place and we can miss some children too?
yeah.
Wait a minute. I thought I heard a noise coming from Josh's basement.
Oh.
But hey, real question for you guys.
Yeah.
Do you think it'd be fun to tip a buffalo? Like tip a cow?
Dude,
You know?
have you ever tried to like find a cow to tip?
Well, no, I thought about it
At
one
1
time.
a.m., 2 a.m., it is impossible. Because all you see is like a herd of like 10, 20 cows on the other side of the pasture. And you just see their eyes glowing in the middle of the night with the moon reflection.
Yeah.
Scariest thing in the world, dude. And you will not get close to one. And if you do, you're either going to get stuck in mud or you're probably going to be the one flipped over, bro. You know what I mean? It's probably,
Dude.
your odds are not very good, dude.
What about a buffalo? What if there's just one buffalo
Nah.
and he's alone from his pack?
I would say a buffalo is at least twice the size of a cow. A full-grown one, you know what I mean? Of course, there's fucking baby buffalo, you know what I mean? But, no, they definitely, if I remember correctly, are twice the size of a buffalo, or
So
buffalo's twice the size of a cow.
A normal cow.
a male
yeah.
adult bison weighs between 1,000 pounds and 2,200 pounds. And as for a cow,
1,200 pounds? Jesus.
yeah.
How much
And
is a cow?
then a cow-
Probably
ooh,
600?
1,500.
The cow is, it says 2,400. So the cow is actually,
Harder to tip.
yeah,
Really?
So,
be easier. I could tip multiple in one night.
I don't know.
yeah, dude, he'd still have the stamina to keep going.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess so.
Maybe.
Real man right there. But hey, have you guys heard about this thing going on in Texas? I know we
Yeah,
talked about
we
it
talked
a
about
little,
it a little,
our
yeah.
last episode, but there's been some new complications since then, hasn't there?
Yes,
And
there
At the
has.
same time, it's still going on. I mean, it's been what 5, almost maybe 6 days now, I believe. There's about 30 deaths right now. I heard today. I heard a kind of a little story from someone that has relatives that are kind of. It's a family of 5, and they're like kind of huddling for warmth in their like closet and stuff, and they're kind of. They don't really know what to do anymore.
Yeah, and you know it's bad when in Brownsville, Texas, which is actually the town that borders Mexico down near the South Padre Islands.
Sure.
The elderly, their nursing homes have run out of power, so they need to sleep in cars
Really?
for warmth.
Yeah, dude.
That's how you know it's getting bad, because when it's down by Mexico, that's where you expect it to be warm year-round. Like, no exceptions, but on this rare occasion, it is.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, and what I read too, I've read a bunch of things on this.
Yeah.
It's actually, they've been kind of dodging the subject for a while. So Texas is actually, obviously they're not known for their winter storms.
No, of course.
But they occasionally do get these storms. They've had a couple. They had one in 1989. They had one in 2004, and they had one in 2011, I believe. Each time, the U.S. federal government actually told them, they're like, hey, man, like, this one wasn't that bad, but you're susceptible to having this kind of crap happen again, and it'd be a lot worse. Then the next time would happen, they'd say the same shit, they'd ignore them. Next one happened. I think the worst one was in, the 2011 one. I think that was the worst one since
Really?
this one.
Yeah.
And they
before
were,
it. Yeah.
yeah, and they were like, hey, fix your issues. You guys need to winterize all your pipes. You need to fix all your power grids. You need to put a link to the actual U.S. power grid so that if you guys lose power, we can send you power from another state that isn't fucked.
And there's no doubt that their schools are still closed, right? They have to be.
I believe so.
Because I have this photo that popped up on my social media. It's in an account called Blowing Fact. I recommend it. Look it up. So if you guys take a look, Everything in the green is how much snow it requires to close school. All the green is any amount, even if it's just
Any
a
amount,
tiny
bro.
amount. Look
And
at how
that's
much
most
in
of Texas and all of Florida and
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the only part of Texas is that part that borders New Mexico
Yep.
and that part of the Oklahoma Panhandle.
Yep.
And that amount is 2.5 centimeters it requires to close schools.
Dude,
Everywhere else,
we get
anything.
2.5 centimeters, and we're like, all right,
It's
well,
gone
that's
in
a
less than
normal
30
day,
minutes.
bro.
yeah.
It's a normal day up here.
We got that at least last night.
Like I'm
it was
telling
already
you-
gone by this
For
morning.
real.
Like I'm telling you, for those of you who don't know, I'm from Connecticut. I'm an East Coast guy.
Yep.
They have been getting hit hard with snow, like bad.
How has stuff up
Very.
there been compared? I mean, I feel like Minnesota. I mean, we got hammered maybe one day, but
It's
I
just
feel
been
like
cold.
it's just been really cold, unfortunately. Yeah, but I mean, how has like New York and Connecticut been and stuff back at home too?
So if we're talking about like Western New York, that's the part of the country that gets the most snow, like Buffalo, because you guys know how the lake effect works
Yep.
with the Lake Ontario because it has so much to go over when it crosses through Michigan. Buffalo has been getting hammered the past
Damn.
couple weeks, and it makes its way over. And I will tell you guys this: ever since I moved to Minnesota, I hadn't noticed. You guys do have colder winters, but you guys do not get as much snow as we do on
Volume.
the East Coast.
I agree.
The worst I've ever seen was when I was about 13 years old, where we had, like 3.5 feet on the ground. I
Yeah.
remember getting up in the morning, opening the garage, and like it was rising, and all I'm seeing is white. I'm like, okay, like when's it gonna stop? It keeps going. I'm like, okay, like stop. And then, so I let my dog out. I'm like, I wonder how my dog's gonna react to this. And my dog's, he's just a little pug. He
Yep.
walks out there. I open the garage, and he just looks, and he just like goes from top to bottom, just goes.
With the beady eyes too, those pug eyes. I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about. They're like, oh god, snort at it and then run away.
That's exactly what happened.
That's funny.
It took half a day to plow all that because you can't plow all that. You have to shovel it because the plows don't go that high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just gotta muscle through it, huh?
But from
Yeah.
what my dad's been telling me, they've been handling it pretty well, shoveling like every other day because it's
Yeah.
happening sporadically.
Well, and I usually see on the news too, like the community each grabs a snowblower and
Yep.
contributes, at least a little bit of a sidewalk or whatever until they run out of gas in their snowblower because there is that much,
But that's the biggest problem in Texas. They're never expecting any of that.
Right.
So when it finally comes, they're like, oh, well, shit. Like, all right, let's call the plows. And they're like, oh, wait.
Yeah, they can't
What
get
are
We don't
plows?
have-
What are plows?
yeah, we don't have
And I know we
those.
brought it up a little bit before, but I just think the crazy thing is how they're off the regular board from everyone for electricity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they're just so reliant on that solar power and the wind turbines and stuff that they didn't have a backup plan.
Yep.
How does your whole state just not have a backup plan like that? I don't know. I just think that's absolutely crazy. Just kind of, it's not even a, there's no safety net
Yeah.
behind if this were to happen, and obviously it's happening right now. There was no plan for this.
Yeah, and one of the things too is going off of the like backup plans and all that.
Yep.
Is that there's actually a lot that they've been doing as far as like the money goes and all that. They're actually losing a colossal amount of money every minute
Every time that it's
the
a blackout
power's-
or what?
Well, every time it's
Yeah.
a blackout, anytime the power goes out. They did a survey back in 2013. Epcot did, and or ERCOT, sorry, not Epcot.
Yeah. Say that's in Florida.
And they
but-
did. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
They're losing about $6,000 every hour for each megawatt lost
Damn.
that's not sent out.
And that's the state that's losing money,
The
or who's
entire
losing money?
state.
Yeah. Okay. Damn.
So that was in 2013.
Sure.
They did an estimate of probably what it'd be
Now
about
with inflation
today.
and stuff, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, actually, here's what I sat this not even inflation. If it's at that same price, which it's obviously more now,
Yep.
but they were losing about 20,000 megawatts per hour during this blackout.
Damn.
So when you take that
20,000
20,000 times
times-
6,000, that's $120 million an hour that they
hour.
were losing.
Good God.
$2.8 billion a day.
Damn.
And it's been going on for 4 days?
4 or 5. I think at least 5. not 6 at this
Obviously,
point.
there's only been a couple days where it's that bad.
At the
but
minimum 4, but could
Yeah.
even so,
possibly
you're
stretch
you're
out to a
talking
week.
$10 billion that you just blew in the gutter.
Yeah.
And the thing too is that, like I said, they've avoided these the things that they should be doing and should be adjusting as far as like I said, winterizing pipes and stuff like that. So this could have been avoided, but their thing is that they don't want to do that because they think it's a waste of money.
So they're trying to save money by not having a backup plan to go to the regulations and be on the standards and have the things that they should have in case this is what happens, which it did this year. Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, as far as, and as regulations go, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, I can't imagine how the families are doing going to stores and stuff. I mean, do you think down there, do you think they're still implementing all the face mask stuff that they're doing up here?
Nope. No, they are not. They are not.
They haven't been. I know Florida is like, it's a hoax, so we don't care at all.
Well, it's kind of like the same thing with Florida because you have those big three with all the COVID. The three that were causing the problem were Florida, Texas, and California. And now that Florida's kind of leveled off, now Texas is starting to follow, and I feel like California will follow too soon because their populations, they're like, okay, like we can't, with this many people, we can't obviously enforce everything. So we're just kind of like, toss it over the head, like whatever, it's your loss, your chance. If you don't want to deal with it, then that's your problem, big boy.
Yeah. And I've been, honestly, with California, I've been hearing a lot of like kind of influencers and people who are trying to get out of California.
They're trying to go to Texas. They're trying to go to Texas.
Texas or Puerto Rico or somewhere.
I've heard that too.
Miami, where the taxes are cheaper.
Yep.
And B, they're just kind of unhappy with the government of the state and just kind of, it's all kind of like, we don't really care about anything anyways. And how do you kind of get behind something like that at that point?
Let's be honest. Is there like any state in the country where the majority of their citizens aren't satisfied with the government?
Well,
really,
that's fair too.
That's true. I mean, they can't be too upset out in like Florida and stuff.
No, but there's still those people, marching out in the streets
Cali.
like anti-government. Yeah. It's hard to say with California,
It just and it depends on the people too, because like I said, the couple people I heard were more so like, okay, I'm pissed that they're not cutting down hours, that they're not doing the stuff that we have in Minnesota, which we all hate, unfortunately, and we know it's for the better that we're not staying at the bars super late and giving them the extra couple hours to spread a virus or something like that, and we keep the face masks on. I read something that like yesterday even they had a big face mask like claim. More than like 10 million fake N95 masks were seized by the U.S. government. They're like the 3M
fake ones.
So yeah, they're like counterfeit masks, which sounds weird and it really doesn't even make sense. But it's kind of the same thing as making a counterfeit bill. They're selling this big pallet of masks to a hospital, and they're gonna get all this money from it. But they don't protect anything from the person wearing it going out, and they don't protect anything going in either. They were never tested. They just were kind of like, all right, we're just gonna buy these masks because they're cheaper. COVID's been, killing our business and our hours and what we can do for operation spending costs. Masks are hard to find and buy in bulk anyways.
Wow. Yeah.
Bought it from this company, and they've been just pulling them like crazy since then.
And the N95s are the ones that they wear in the hospital, not the ones that we just walk around. Yes.
Correct.
And they're faking those.
Correct. Ooh. Yep, the hospital ones. And they were going to send all these, $10 million of fake masks to different states, different state hospitals, and, assisted living facilities, and different stuff like that too.
And how did people find out that they weren't legit?
So actually, since the pandemic has started, the Homeland Security investigations have just gone up super, super far. Obviously, just be kind of like I said before, they're hard to find and come by, and big companies want to get as much as they can at once. They've got 7,000 agents now over that by this point to investigate, and they've seized actually over $33 million of product, and they've arrested over 200 people since the past year.
Who was involved and all that stuff?
Correct. Yes, different companies, different and it's hard to do stuff overseas, especially with shipping and stuff like that. It's more so.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, it's more so just, how do you, and the thing too is, okay, obviously they're trying to make a quick buck and make a quick couple $1,000 really quick to something that's high in demand, but I feel like that's just kind of morally wrong. I mean, do you know how many different people you're affecting?
Especially if it's like 10 million of them, that's a lot of
spend a little bit on a cheapo mask and profit.
And think about.
I'm sure they made stupid money off it.
I'm sure.
Hopefully they didn't spend it all.
Yeah, and the thing too is 10 million masks for 10 million people that may encounter 5 people each while wearing their mask.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's really affecting at least 30, 50 million people.
And my
if it were to
question
have
is,
happened.
how do they test these? Like, how did they find out that they were counterfeit? You know,
So-
like, were they just like, did they blow some toxins through it, and they're like, oh, it turned
like they
purple
opened a
on the other
package up and
side,
tested it out
like
kind
a
of thing,
dye
or-
pack or something.
So
you
I'm
know?
on CNBC right now, and
Yeah.
they're saying how to check if your N95 is fake. And
Yep.
one of the first
Sure.
thing is check the markings on the mask. The markings on the outside of the N95 respirator are key. A blank N95 is a red flag that's inauthentic, which honestly is a big red flag because
Yeah.
if it's authentic, it's going to have everything on it. If it's blank, you're kind of like, this isn't
Well, that's
official.
kind of weird.
And then next would be look how it's secured on your face. Are designed with N95s are designed with two bands that fit around the back of your head and neck to ensure a snug seal around the nose and mouth. If a mask has ear loops instead of headbands, then it's not a legit N95.
Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting. So there are like tells that people can find to see like how these things are working. And
Well, you know, it's the same thing. Like, let's say you buy a Rolex, and there's a way to tell us if it's fake compared to real, and like real AirPods versus fake AirPods. There'll always be something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And same thing with like Gucci bags and
Yeah.
shoes. And I mean, people have even tried to sell fake Air Forces.
I've
with,
seen
like-
that.
So
I've seen that.
I used to work at Dick's, and they have a Nike Court Low shoe actually. It's called a Court Shoe Low, and it's all
Yeah.
white. They have a men's and a women's. I don't know if you guys have seen them. They look identical to the Air Forces, except the heels are just like half the size. It doesn't say Air Force in the size. It doesn't have that metal clip on the shoelace.
Yeah.
So
Wait,
some-
what are they called again?
They're Nike Court Shoe Low or something.
Court Shoe Lows.
Let
Have
me
you
see if I
guys?
can't find them.
So
but-
I don't know if this is just like a personal preference thing or not, but every time I go to buy one of those like knockoff ones or like even cheap ones, like no knock to the store or anything like that, but like Target shoes, Walmart shoes, shit like that. Every time I go there, I feel like those shoes last about a quarter of the time that like an expensive like Nike brand or Men's Warehouse or like even like dress shoes and
Yeah,
stuff.
and that's how Kohl's is too. Even
Yep.
and working retail, we so Dick's Sporting Goods in St. Cloud Way Park area
Yeah.
is a lower tier store.
Oh,
Supposedly due to they surveyed the population around the area, and we don't have that many customers in order to get the high end
does-
shoes,
that does
high end
make sense,
clothing.
yeah.
Some of the Dicks in the cities are like double decker, and they're dope. I mean, they have back stock rooms for their shoes and stuff.
Yeah.
We get the Kohl's brand Nike shoes because they're cheaper.
Well, it's kind of like this. Like, who would you rather trust for buying your shoes, making sure they're high quality? Would you trust the Dicks in St. Cloud, Minnesota, or
Right.
would you trust the Dicks
It's the
in the
income
Mall
levels.
of America?
It's the
That's
income
true.
What would you
levels of
think?
the
That's
community.
true.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, St. Cloud communities, I'm sure, I don't know, make
'Cause
5
only
to
the
10,000
best.
less than the cities do annually, at least.
Exactly.
You know, on the low end, at least. but-
So knowing what you know, are the free runs, for example, if
Yep.
I buy the free runs from your Dick's Sporting Goods store and I go to the Nike store in MOA, is it a different shoe or is it the same thing?
No, I would not say that necessarily. There could be sometimes there are definitely defective shoes, which sounds
Okay,
weird,
but it's the
there's
same
defective
shoe.
everything. Correct. It's just this kind of
It's
Kohl's
just you're not
and
gonna-
Kohl's and Walmart and like that and stuff like that buys the lower, cheaper end Nike shoes.
They
that
don't buy the
make.
good ones.
Correct.
It's
Yep.
kind of like a clothing company, you know, that when they finish all the production, they finish all the sewing, and they're like, this one's a little sewn better than the other. The perfect sewing one, they're going to sell to like the big ones because they know it's going to make much, and they're
Yep.
going to send the lower end ones to the less
to like a
income
TJ
stores.
Maxx
Yes,
or something like
makes
that.
sense.
too.
Exactly, because
A
do you
Goodwill.
think every single time a clothing company produces something, everything's going to be spot on perfect?
No.
That's impossible.
I mean, they are mostly made by robots now, but
yeah, they are, but are robots perfect?
No,
I
definitely
mean,
not.
wait another 40 years, maybe they will be, but
yeah,
I don't know,
I don't know.
future
It's just interesting because that's one of the things that's kind of like a pain in the ass for like most Americans is that if you go to these stores and you spend the $50-$60 it is to buy these shoes,
you make that investment.
you make the investment for $50-$60, but then your shoe breaks after
Exactly.
Not
3-4
even a year.
months.
Not even a year.
Yeah, not even a year.
Exactly.
But then you go to you go to like the Nike, or if you're looking for dress shoes, like I said, I have a lot of dress shoes, so like
Yep.
it kind of fits for me. But
Yep.
you go to like the high end like suit stores and you buy a shoe from there, yeah, you're gonna spend probably triple the amount. I mean, a cheap nice shoe is probably $150 easy. If you spend one of those, I mean, I have one pair of shoes like that, and dude, I've worn it like a million times, and it still looks like I just took it out of the box.
Yeah. And that's kind of the thing too. When I was, selling shoes, I was a shoe salesman at Dick's Sporting Goods as well. It was kind of like, I wasn't trying to talk anyone. I always was upfront with everyone too. I almost fucking hit my face against the mic there.
I was like, what happened there?
But no, so I was always straight up with everyone, like, hey, I don't make commission. I'm an hourly dude. Like, these shoes are high in price because they're going to last the longest.
Yeah.
They're going to give you the best support. Your feet aren't going to kill in 3 months because they're worn out and they're just trashed. And these are going to last you the longest, and that's why they are expensive. These ones have the best ability for you. Well, I don't want to spend $100 on a shoe. That's fine. Here's some $70, $80 ones that'll get you, they're mediocre shoes. They'll get you still probably 6 months worth. But these ones, most of the time that you spend, when you spend $120 to $150, it'll get you almost.
That's
a
how
year.
Almost everything is, unfortunately.
Correct.
Though, if you're
Quality.
if you go to a store and somebody's trying to push you towards an expensive thing, I'd say 9 times out of 10, it's for a reason. Like if I buy a high quality shirt from like Under Armour, if I buy the $120 one versus the $60 one, I bet it's gonna last me twice as long.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, so now that you mentioned that, like, you guys know I used to work at Hockey Zone.
Yeah.
And you guys know how expensive hockey
Yeah,
skates
dude, that
can
place
get.
is expensive.
So the whole reason I worked there is because I had knowledge of hockey equipment, and you guys know, like, the top end skates can run you almost $1,000 for like their highest brand, and then they just woefully swivel down on their products to where you get the $200 ones. And I would never try to push the top end on people because that's huge.
Yeah.
It really
That
is.
is a lot of money, though.
It is really, but I will say they are.
It's probably the best skate that's out there.
No, it is. So
Yeah.
when I was working there, the 1Xs, the 1Ss, you guys probably have no idea what I'm talking
No,
about.
not at all.
All right, so Bauer, the number one hockey brand.
Bauer.
They had the 1Xs, the Vapors, the 1Ss, the Supremes, and the 1Ns, the Nexuses.
Yep.
They would always, the top end brand would be almost $1,000. It would be in the 900s. And the only people who would buy those are the people who literally came in and said, I want the 1X, the 1N.
Who know what it is.
Yeah, they know what
They
they're
already
buying.
know what they're coming in there knowing that they want the best of the best at that point. Yeah.
Yep. And I will say, like, from working with them, looking at them, they are worth the price. But, like, when you look at that price, it intimidates you.
Yeah. Of
It's
course.
like, is this product going to break down on me?
But it's an investment, and that's what
It
most
is.
of the things are. Like, if you buy a $350 pair of Nikes, unless you buy a white shoe, that thing's probably going to last you like 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
And when customers came in, like, younger kids, like maybe 13, 12, and like they said they want the top end skate, I always say to them, are you sure? Because you're still growing. Your foot is going to get bigger.
Yeah, you don't want
and
that.
like, if you're going to buy that top end skate and you're still growing,
It's not a good idea.
it's not a good idea because that's just money you're flushing right down the drain.
Yep.
So like when I would explain to them, like, yeah, the lower ends are still good. Like the top ends always like flex these features that they have. They're just like, this is why it's the best skate. And I'm like,
yeah, it's got like a little glow stick on them or something.
Exactly.
It like lights up when
it's
you
just
skate.
like
Lights up.
It's
when
like
you skate.
it's like the shoes that you click on the ground and they light up.
it's just basically you're on the ice and you're like, hey, look at me. I spend extra money on the top end.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then you're on the ice and you're just like, this kid is a total
and I feel
fucking loser.
For sure.
Kind of like the people who bought the white Supremes.
Damn.
For all the hockey players
My
out there,
skates are
you
all-
know how to chirp those people with the white Supremes.
My skates are only $50. Damn.
Damn.
That's dirt cheap.
I don't know skates at all.
Got mine in a garage sale.
But dude,
$15.
I literally have some of those Nike. It's the flat bottom ones. I can't
Free
remember.
run?
No, the flat bottom. So with the lifting shoe.
Metcon.
Metcon.
Yep,
Yep, I have
Metcons.
those. I bought those
Yep.
4 years ago.
No way.
They are
I
white.
thought you bought them when I worked at Dick's. No.
No, I've had those since before I came to college.
Okay.
And
I bought mine 2 years ago.
I bought those
so.
about 4 years ago. They're in perfect condition, except that they are white.
They're white.
So
yeah.
they're stupid dirty.
Well, and you want them
Yep.
to work out, so you're gonna be wet,
Yes.
and not wet,
And
but
how
you know,
many,
gross.
how many
and
times have
whatever.
you worn them? Like,
Dude,
how often do you wear
I
them?
wore when I was working out. I wore them every time I worked. That was
I do
literally my
remember-
gym shoe.
Yep, I remember you having those. So since you work at Dick's, you know about the ridiculous, like the high end Nike ones. Have you ever heard of the Air Mags? Those one that's like light up. They're like worth $100,000.
No way, no.
Yeah.
Are those the ones that from Back to the Future? Where
I
they
think
like
so.
auto? They
Those ones
auto,
auto lace.
the auto lace.
That might be a different one you're talking about. I have no idea. Those
hold
ones
on.
look dope too. And that's the thing. Like I was saying, at my store, we didn't get.
You don't get
didn't,
that kind of
We
stuff.
didn't get Adidas Ultra Boost until 2 years
What?
after they came out. Yep.
You
Because
guys didn't get
our
Ultra Boost?
These-
no, dude.
Yeah, dude. Those are the Back to Future.
Yep.
Back to
Yeah.
the Future.
Yeah.
Shoes. Well,
And-
kind of.
I saw a YouTube video where this guy would like take brand new ones doing for an exchange. He's like, "Hey, how much can I get for these?" And like 3 of them would be like, "Oh, only like $300." And then others would be like, "Dude, these are worth like a bunch of
Thousands.
grand."
Yeah.
Like tens of thousands.
100%.
And like the other people, like he would go back and he's like, "Yeah, they were trying to rip me off."
Yeah, for sure. I kind of think it's interesting how Nike kind of like works with different people like that too, and they actually kind of value their customers
Dude,
sometimes too.
I respect how Nike's come up in the sports game. When were they founded? Like the 80s maybe or
Oh,
earlier?
I have no idea.
Maybe
Yeah.
earlier. Like they've really done an incredible job coming up
It's
in the
been a
business,
minute.
and they inspired companies like Under Armour to come up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Reebok's
Yep.
really been making a strip, you know, with their CrossFit stuff and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
A little bit different.
Are they
focus
still
on sports,
are they
but-
still doing UFC Reebok, or have they lost that brand deal?
That's ending in April.
Really?
They're going to Venom.
Venom?
Because
What is
What
that?
the hell
It's-
is Venom?
It's a mixed martial arts company. So basically,
Weird.
there were
That's
a lot.
weird.
So there were a lot of complaints from UFC fighters about. So before the Reebok deal happened, it was like a free for all. You could wear whatever you want. Like people would sign with you for your own individual
Yep.
advertisements. And
Yep.
then finally, Dana White said, "Okay, we're gonna sign this deal with Nike."
Dude,
We'll-
Dana
or
White's a
Reebok,
bitch,
excuse
bro.
me.
Dana
oh,
White's a
come on,
bitch.
man. So with the Reebok, before the Reebok deal, you would get, it was kind of like NASCAR. Like all your endorsements would sign for you. They would pay you a certain amount of money for all this. And then they did the Reebok deal, and a lot of fighters lost money because of it, and they were upset with the deal. But it's business at the end of the day, and I guess it worked out for them. And the Reebok deal ends in April, and Dana's already said we're going to Venom, which is a strictly combat sports.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm looking at Venom right now. Man, this gear looks tight, dude. That like, I don't know what it is, like a python or something
Yep.
for their logo.
It's a python head. Yeah.
Yep.
Whatever it
Like
is.
the fangs on
yeah,
it?
the
Yeah,
fangs,
bro.
dude.
Pretty
That's
dope.
a dope
I
brand.
mean, that
dude.
makes sense because like rattlesnake
That's
venom.
That's
yeah,
a
that makes sense.
sweet logo, dude.
Yep.
That's pretty.
And like
dope.
if you notice, like when I introduced you guys to UFC, like Reebok, they had all like their names on and
Everything,
everything.
on the
Before
pants,
that, it had
yep.
nothing. I'm just interested to see what Venom does
Yeah.
with everything. If they're going to
Well,
do
they're
the
gonna
same thing.
they're gonna change it. They
Absolutely,
have
it's going to be a drastic change.
Bro,
Yeah.
with the look of their website though, I feel like the like shorts and shit are gonna look fire, bro.
Yeah,
to.
and you know
Yeah,
what?
dude.
So-
for
Was it
real.
Venom.com? VENUM.com.
So when-
not sponsored yet. But
So when
Soon
Reebok,
to be.
So when Reebok came in, the first event that they introduced it for was the Conor McGregor versus Chad Mendes fight
Yeah.
for the interim title. So they wanted to put it on a big stage.
how
and
long
say,
ago was that?
That was UFC 189. So that was late 2015.
Okay.
Wow.
Because I know UFC's been doing it for a minute. You know, it's been at least 4 or 5 years. I thought so. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And they've done a great job.
Yeah.
Oh,
With
yeah.
the branding and everything.
Yeah,
they're up and rising. They're the
Oh,
only
yeah.
sport that's making money
Dude,
right
dude,
now.
they're
They're the only
making
sport that's
bank,
climbing.
But when I
bro.
worked at Dick's, they discontinued Reebok from all Dick's Sporting Goods
Yeah,
stores
'cause
because
Reebok
they didn't buy
apparel
anything.
sucks.
Shoes too, everything.
Because there's companies that are trying to buy them out.
Dude, Reebok
Really?
Reebok does they have okay
Bro,
shoes.
I got a pair of shoes. They're like they're cross training shoes.
Yeah,
so
they're
not
just
that comfy, but
they're
they're
a
dope.
unique market is the thing. If you do what
They're
they're
more of a
made
training
for-
company, too,
Yeah,
though.
if you do training,
CrossFit.
Reebok and
Yeah,
CrossFit
it's
and stuff
CrossFit,
like
yep.
that, Reebok is awesome. But if you're just like the average Joe who goes
Yeah.
to the gym to
Or
run
Steve,
and like
yeah.
average Steve, average Karen,
Average Chase.
you don't buy Reebok because that's not really what you're going to the gym for. All you need is like a running shoe, and you're probably gonna get like an ASIC or something like that because it's the best running shoe.
It's the best all-around shoe.
Well,
At that
well, you
point.
do know that Reebok used to be in hockey, right?
I do know that.
And
Yep.
you guys remember the Reebok pump skates? A little pump on the
Oh
side.
my God, yeah. Those
they
were
had
skates too?
Yeah, they were skates
remember
too.
the
And
shoes.
like I was a young kid back then. I'm like, oh, this looks cool. So I transitioned from Bauer to Reebok one year, and I just want to say, I'm a guy who has the pumps. And then I tried them. I'm like, oh my God, these skates suck.
These are terrible.
And then
Did you say?
and then
wait,
wait,
the guy that had the humps? My humps.
the pumps.
My lovely lady humps. Check it out.
You're lucky you guys are sitting across from me right now, or I slap you.
Oh, we got to do a song and video.
No,
or
but-
a podcast, bro.
No,
We
but
gotta
so-
fit 'em in.
So Reebok was a big hockey brand, but then they got bought out by CCM, and now CCM owns the rights to all the Reebok skates. So the pump skates that they had for Reebok are now the CCM Ripcores, which have the same color scheme and everything.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have the pump. So Reebok in hockey is dead.
That's
because
weird.
CCM bought it out.
That's crazy.
Reebok didn't really do a
Yeah.
good job in hockey, and now STX, the lacrosse brand.
Yes, correct.
They've been up and coming in hockey now. Like they have a new
Weird.
feature. Like they're in sticks though, because they have
Right.
you guys have held a hockey stick before, right?
Yeah.
So instead of a
Floor
square
hockey
feature,
in gym in 5th grade.
Is
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is it
yeah.
a circle feature?
no. So what it is you do that square feature with the STX, but at the bottom it's like a triangle feature, so you get a better grip on it. I felt one of them. I'm like, this actually does feel good. And
Weird.
It's
I've
like
tried
a little
it.
different.
Yeah, and it like you get a better handle on the stick. And I've actually
More control.
Yep.
Is it kind of like those pencil grips? You know what I mean? Where it had the 3 thick, you slipped them on your pencil.
It's like a
and
little
then
grippy thing?
You'd throw them at your friends and chew on them when we were in like 6th, 2nd grade. and then-
Exactly, just a
Yeah.
different shape.
There you
I
go.
tested them out when they first
Interesting.
came out, and I'm like, this is actually really good. Like they're making steps to improve the game.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, speaking of new concepts, have you guys seen those Nike FlyEase Goes?
Dude, okay, those are actually awesome. And they're super crazy. They have a whole story behind them. But so I showed you a picture of those earlier before I came, right? I think I texted you a picture of them.
Yeah,
I can't remember,
yeah.
but yeah. So they when you get out of them, they pop out kind of like they have a spine and it kind of cuts in half almost. If you haven't seen these, go look them up.
It's a concept shoe, right?
Yeah, Nike FlyEase.
But they're
Go.
coming out?
So they actually came out February 15th to Nike subscribers. So
Oh.
3
So
days
they're
ago.
gonna drop for real.
So yeah, and they've only dropped one color wave of them, and they have these have been super hyped up. They're gonna come out with more of them. Every time they release a new kind of style or technology
Yeah.
shoe like this, they always just do I don't want to say a test one.
Like a soft open?
Yeah, a soft open with one color scheme. It's the first one, and then they come out with 3 or 4 depending on how it does. Sometimes they bring it to retail. Sometimes they only bring it to the
don't.
Foot
Yeah.
Lockers or whatever, But it's kind of crazy. I'm actually listened to an interview of this guy named Matthew Walzer was his name.
Yeah.
And listened to a whole kind of interview of him talking about he didn't really give them the idea for this exact shoe, but kind of gave them the lane to kind of look at different options. So he actually has a CP disease, which kind of affects his motor movements and stuff like this. He has kind of trouble walking and kind of balance movements and stuff like that. A crazy story, he used sticky notes at his desk at school in order to write notes and stuff. Kind of, it's really crazy,
Yeah,
really
yeah,
kind of moving
definitely.
story. I listened to it and I was like, damn, you take kind of that stuff for granted. Writing with a pencil on your desk with yourself. You know what I mean?
to me, those shoes look like people who are too lazy to tie their shoes.
I mean,
Well, yeah,
who
and-
isn't too lazy to tie their shoes?
Dude, I have a pair of shoes where I tuck the shoelaces in and slip into them. And
When was
just
the
go,
when was the
but-
last time you put a shoe on? You're like, damn, I'm excited to tie these shoes. Or would you
never.
would you
It's taken me
rather
that
just be
long.
able to put your foot in the shoe and walk away?
I mean, those shoes, you can't secure them when you're working out. You want a nice tight fit when you
Of
know
course.
you're lifting
But-
and all
Maybe
that.
it is a tight fit.
But if I'm
though.
just Jay chilling, having a
Yeah.
little drink, I just want to slip it right on. But if I'm on the go, then I do want something that's
Yeah.
tight and fastened and ready
So-
to go. Yeah.
Yeah, so these and Nike has been really good with their sock technology. They had the
Yeah.
Fly Knits a couple years
Yep.
ago when I was in high school. That's a long time ago with their kind
Yep.
of wave pattern
Yep.
design, long time ago. and now they've been just they evolve every year. And they kind of got the idea from him because he, like I said, the motor movement thing, he struggles with tying his shoes. His parent, he kind of talked about it. Go check this out. This interview you can look up on YouTube. Matthew Walzer, super interesting, moving kind of interview. But he talks about when his parents would leave him home alone, they would put his shoes on him just in case he had to get out of the house or something because they knew he couldn't do it himself, kind of thing. So just kind of like I said, crazy story. But he actually went on a personal blog. He was writing for a couple months prior and wrote a letter to Nike. Through this blog, and a bigger sneaker blog website thing kind of posted it. It's called Nice Kicks, which I've heard of. I haven't really looked at their stuff, but I've heard of them, so they got to be somewhat popular. And the Nike CEO actually ended up seeing this on there when they reposted his letter, kind of thing. So of course it's got to be that big. But they kind of reached out to him and they called him. I think he said they called him 10 or 15 times. It was like an Oregon number. I can't remember what state he's from, but he's like, okay, this is like a spam caller.
Yeah,
who,
it's just
who
a
the heck
random
is?
number.
Yeah, it's just someone trying to get my insurance or Social Security or something.
Sell me
you
an
know?
extended
and
warranty.
he picks it up one day and he's like, and they're like, hey, this is CEO of Nike. We're really moved by your story and really appreciate what you said in it. We want to help you and other kids like you and come up with some ideas.
So my biggest concern is that you say Oregon instead of Oregon.
Oregon
or Oregon?
Oregon.
Origami?
Salami.
No.
Pepperoni? No, that's all right. No, that's
My
all right.
milkshakes bring all the boys.
No,
to
we already
the
did
yard.
One of my
It's
my
better
childhood
than-
my childhood
But I
best
have
friend
to
lives in
charge.
Oregon, and she told me it's Oregon, not Oregon.
No, it's Oregon. But it's fine.
Yeah.
I just
Still lives there currently.
How do you say-
You guys can have whatever
How do
opinions
you-
you want, but they're wrong.
How do you say the current state you live in?
Minnesota.
He learned.
He did learn. That's a
What-
Minnesotan thing, eh?
Don't you know?
Oh, dude, don't even get me started. My freshman year when I was coming into St. Cloud, people all just be like, so where are you going to school? I'm like, oh, St. Cloud. And they're like, where's that? And I go, Minnesota. And they're like, oh, you going to Minnesota? I'm like, nobody talks like that.
No one
there.
actually is like that.
I mean, there's a couple people who have a little bit strong of an accent.
Yeah.
But when I came here, people were like, oh, do you have an accent? Are you from Boston? I'm like, no. And they're like, if you met my dad, then yes.
Then yeah.
That's absolutely not true. I mean, if you go to New York or New Jersey, those people have really strong
Big
accents.
accents, yeah.
Oh, and Trenton. By
What?
the way, what's
Huh.
the capital of New Jersey?
New Jersey, Trenton, baby. I
Yes,
knew that
sir.
since like 4th grade. Yeah, I've known that since 4th grade. I've asked
Yeah.
how many people that. I think I've asked that to someone while you've been around. I'm not gonna lie.
My dude
and you're like,
used-
bro, I know that.
Yep.
I'm from the East Coast.
my,
What's up?
my dude used it as a pickup line. Hey, you ever
Dude.
dated the capital of New Jersey?
You know I did. you know I did.
Everyone
Not quite like that, but
Everyone's always like, Newark? Where me
Yeah.
and Josh have been, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Colby Covington beating down Robbie Lawler.
Have you been to any of the casinos since you came here, Justin, or no?
Which ones?
Any in Minnesota?
Yeah, I've been to Mystic. I've been
You've
to Mystic Lake. Yeah.
Mystic's my favorite one.
No, dude.
No?
Let me tell you, the 2 casinos in Connecticut blow any casino that I've ever been out of the water.
Really?
Oh, dude. So, the top 5 biggest casinos, biggest by size, 2 of them are in Connecticut. They're ranked number 2 and 3, Foxwoods and Mohegan Sun. The number 1 is one in Oklahoma. That's the Dallas area. It's
Okay.
like an hour before. Those 2 casinos, Foxwoods and Mohegan, are only 30 minutes apart. Those casinos are big. The Mohegan
What's
tribe.
so cool about them, though?
They have everything. They have the gambling floors. They have non-smoking areas, smoking areas, every restaurant you can ever think of. You guys ever been to Sugar Factory?
I've walked past it. I've seen it. They have one in the Mall of America.
What is that?
It's like a drink bar thing with like
And a restaurant.
It's they have food.
Yes, they do.
Really?
So-
I didn't know.
so
Every
one
time
thing-
I walk past when I go to Mall of America, it's always like a martini glass with cotton candy or all the little like ice ball things, the frozen ball. What
Yep.
the fuck is that?
So one thing you guys got to know, if you guys have ever seen that SpongeBob episode, Pretty Patties, they have them at Sugar Factory.
Pretty patties, like the ones with the.
With the different colors, they
We're
have
gonna
that
look-
at Sugar Factory.
We gonna look this up.
And
Pretty patty.
What about the salad?
the salad,
Do they have those?
they
Oh,
got
so
those
they're
too.
just different colored Krabby Patties. I see an
Oh
orange,
my
a green, and a yellow,
Yep.
and a purple,
God.
a red.
They have those. And I'm telling you, their
Oh
drinks,
my god.
they're like a drink where they bring you the glass and they pour it for you, and like steam rises from it, or I don't know if it's steam because it's cold liquid nitrogen. I don't know, but it's definitely something that any girl will want to get on their Snap story.
It's called
you know,
Sugar
just
Factory?
say, "Oh, look where I
Sugar
am."
Factory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sugar Factory.
Dude, I'm gonna look at the
It's
picture.
so good.
Dude,
Dude, it literally looks exactly the same.
bro, they kind of look like different colors of shit on sticks.
I really recommend that place. It's very good.
You think it's just food coloring?
Bro, it's like the plankton
Beats
burgers.
me.
Bro, have you guys seen Good Burger?
Welcome to
Good Burger, home of the Good Burger, man. Take your order. Yeah,
I think
bro.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Dude, that's like it was a Nickelodeon movie. It had Keenan something Chase. No, I don't know. Maybe not.
Keenan
dude.
Thompson.
Yes, that's who it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Yes,
The guy
dude.
who played Russ Tyler on Mighty Ducks.
Yep.
That's how I always
Oh.
remember
Yeah,
him. And in
I forgot about that movie, bro.
And in Victorious, that one episode where like Andre was like, "Oh yeah, I got a house at Keenan Thompson's house."
Yeah,
Like,
bro. Yes, dude. He's been in a couple things. But
And he's
you remember-
on Saturday Night Live too. He like
Really?
plays a big role in that. Like he'll do
the heck?
anything. Like you
He's
know,
a funny dude, bro.
like you know,
Yeah.
you know the whole Gorilla Glue
Gorilla
girl
Glue thing?
Oh,
like
God.
they did something on that on Saturday Night Live, and Keenan Thompson played the doctor who did the surgery on.
Did you
Really?
Tisha.
Did you see the cup thing?
Tessica?
Did you see after? Oh my god.
What happened to her after?
Bro, she got her head shaved.
Yeah, I feel so bad.
She's got
for her.
she's got these little like stumps on the back
You-
end of her
You
head.
feel bad for her?
I do.
A girl that decided that she doesn't have any hair product left, that she's going to use Gorilla Glue.
I'm not
probably
upset
was-
with that, but I'm upset at the fact that she had to go through all that and get shamed on social media.
I
That's what I
agree.
feel bad about her
I
about
agree
that.
there.
And she's trying to sue the Gorilla Glue company because
Really?
because it said do not put this on your skin. She's like, well, it didn't say to put it on your hair. I'm like, well, if
Bro.
it's not safe to put on your skin, then why would you put it on your hair?
Bro, I've never thought about like feeling bad for her because of the public shame. I
She's not
definitely am
gonna
on
win
that
that.
too. But what I'm saying, yeah, that's exactly what I
But
was
the
gonna
biggest
say.
thing is,
I
like,
think
it
that's
didn't say-
bullshit. She's just trying to get money
There's
now.
no way
She's
that
just trying to
she
get
could-
money because she's an
and
idiot.
first off, any lawyer would be like, okay, there's no way you put it on just your hair and it didn't touch a single
Part of your
particle of
skin.
your skin.
And you
It's
guys
impossible.
have seen the video of her when she's like, this is like a month after. It looked like a completely paved road.
Really?
Like she literally tried to rub her fingers through it.
like freshly
It was-
paved on a 105 sunny day or what?
Yes,
yeah.
it's compared to me like rubbing my hand on this table right here. Like
I can hear
nothing
it.
would move.
Yeah,
everything
bro.
was just completely
How long did
fast.
she? So how long between when she got it shaved and when she first put it in? How long was that? Does anybody know?
A month and a half,
Really?
maybe.
I thought it was really. I haven't actually
Something
looked
like
at it
that
that
because
much.
the
I have
video,
not looked at it that much.
because the TikTok video she took was a month after.
Damn.
Basically saying like, I need help. Does anyone know what to do? And
Where
people
I
were
should go.
suggesting acetone, bleach, and like
Yeah.
nothing works. And then because of that TikTok, a doctor from LA reached out and said, I can help you out. So she flew out to LA and then the
Damn.
surgery happened. Look up on TNZ the video of her getting the surgery.
Oh god.
It's like
Really?
scary. Like I genuinely felt
Did
bad.
they have to
that
cut her like skull, like her skin open at that point or no?
No.
I don't know. I'm
So
definitely
what they
gonna
did,
look at it when
what
we
they
end
did
this.
was they had to
I feel like
like
that's too long a video to do now, but
I don't know. So what I saw was they were spraying like 3 different components on her. I'm not sure exactly what they were, but it kind of like it did dissolve the
Loosened
glue a
it
bit,
up a
so
little
so
bit.
they could finally like comb it all out, get it all out.
Scrape
they
it out.
they did have to cut off a good portion
Dude, it
of
was
her
like
hair.
all of her hair.
yeah.
Like I'm at that point, if I was her, I was like just shave my head.
Just go bald.
Because
Why would you
because
leave a little
I
bit?
I need to start
Restart.
I need to start fresh with a new head of hair
Yeah.
because
restart.
yeah, just click the reset button.
Yeah.
I do feel bad for her. Like
Yeah.
But-
obviously,
How do you
But-
not know that Gorilla Glue does that? Like
I do agree.
You have to buy it at Home Depot.
Nah, you could
Or
buy it at
CVS.
Walmart. Can you not
CVS.
buy it at Walmart?
Oh my god! But what? It's in the glue section.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not
What
like in
the
the hair products. Or
my
nothing.
question is like, how do you say, oh, I ran out of hair product? How do I resort to Gorilla Glue?
Do you think she went out and bought Gorilla Glue, or do you think she just had some like?
I
She just
think
had it
she
on
just
hand.
had it on
I think she
hand.
had it on hand too. Because why is that what you would resort to? Because if it was me, I would try like mayo or like peanut butter or something else besides
Or
glue.
honey.
I wouldn't even try Elmer's glue, bro. I mean, that would be safer than Gorilla Glue, of course.
Yeah.
But Elmer's glue, I feel like would still fuck up your scalp. You know
Yeah,
what I
like-
mean? With your skin.
Like all the elementary school kids who eat Elmer's glue.
You didn't.
I'm sure you
what?
ate
I was
glue.
good,
No, I
Justin.
didn't.
Okay.
There's no
No, I
way
didn't.
you can tell me right now that you never ate a single drop of glue. There is
No, I didn't.
fucking way in
No,
hell.
I didn't. Hand to God.
There's no way.
Scouts
dude.
honor.
There's
Scouts
no
honor.
Scouts honor. There's no way you didn't eat any.
I mean, I
glue.
will say this: I did like peeling the glue off my
Yeah,
fingers because
alright.
that was so satisfying.
You're telling
but I
me
would
you never licked your finger?
No.
No.
Why would I eat glue?
Because you're a little kid. That's what little kids do. They eat glue.
No, they eat erasers.
You know what else little kids do?
Huh.
They try to eat cardboard. Have you ever eaten cardboard?
I've licked cardboard.
Bro, all right. Have
You're
you ever
crazy.
have you ever eaten
You've
an
never.
eraser?
How do you know
have,
what?
you ever,
what?
have you ever chewed on an eraser?
No.
Really? I'm not
Why?
gonna lie. Once upon a time, definitely.
You've never
bro.
chewed on an eraser?
Why?
Bro,
What in the fuck are
it was
you
maybe
doing, guy?
fourth, fifth, sixth, or
Everybody chewed on an
10th
eraser.
grade. I don't know.
I didn't.
Have you ever said the?
I've chewed on a pencil before, obviously.
Have you ever said the phrase "This tastes like cardboard"?
Yes, I
How
just
do you-
said it 2 seconds ago.
How do you know what cardboard tastes like? Because you've eaten cardboard when you
Bro,
were a kid.
Did I not tell you this? So
I'm gonna
Justin,
I'm gonna plead the fifth on that.
all right,
One.
Justin,
Yeah.
Justin, hold up. So if you look at this leather chair to your left, right, and if I asked you what it tasted like, instantly when I asked that question, you already know what it tasted like without even having to lick that chair. This is the first time you've seen that chair, but you already know what it would taste like because of the tech. Look at it. It's a black leather chair. The texture of it, you're feeling it now. You know exactly what it would taste like when you stick your tongue on it,
Right.
don't you?
How?
You do. You're
How do you
picturing
know
it
that?
in your head.
Tasted leather.
You're
Yes, you
lying.
have, dude. When you were either a baby or
Everyone listening right now.
Oh, because everybody
Bro.
remembers everything when they were
Well,
an
no,
infant.
but no, you don't remember
Bro.
it. But it's a thing in the back of your mind
dude,
that teaches
you don't think this is gonna taste like plastic and it's gonna be smooth and like rubber and like, you know? what
Or
I
how
mean?
do you know? What,
Everyone at home right
Yeah,
now
dude.
is exactly has been picturing this and thinking on their mind, bro, it doesn't taste good, but I mean it tastes smooth. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it's an interesting feeling on the
Definitely, Justin. No?
Mm.
Definitely? Yeah. Really?
tongue. Yeah.
Dude.
Uh huh.
I heard that somewhere else. I've been thinking about that recently again because I told you about that a while ago, and I'm like,
Which
okay,
one?
it's kind of a psychological
Yeah,
thing.
it's a psychological
when
thing.
when you're like,
exactly.
okay, how is this glass gonna taste? Of course you've
Look
put
at
your
a bite into a glass.
well,
you
no,
psychopath.
no. I'm saying if you licked this glass, you could tell me exactly what it tasted like because you put your mouth on glass before. I know that's a bad example, but just more so like
for
look at that,
example
that-
purposes.
dude, that coaster was floating.
Yeah, we might have to watch
Dude,
these coasters.
that almost looked like a UFO.
We haven't watched these coasters
Really?
in a bit. so-
Bro, speaking of UFOs, all right, you want to hear something funny
Oh,
on my way
God,
here?
wait.
No, hold up,
What do you
hold
got?
up. All right.
I think I've heard about this.
No. On my drive here, bro.
No, shut up.
Oh, hold up, listen, bro. Fucking Sauk Rapids, Minnesota, bro. I tell you what, UFO sighting.
No.
About
In
30
Sauk
minutes ago.
Rapids?
I swear.
Justin,
me,
no.
myself.
It's like
No. So hear me
He's-
out, all right?
he's-
So I'm jamming the music, bro. I usually have my music on like 30. I've been pushing it to like 30, 38
Out of what?
recently. I think it goes like 45, 50. I don't know.
so that's pretty loud.
So 25 is about average. It's a little bit more like loud, you know. I've been pushing it to 30 because I don't know. I was chilling, right? Kind of lost in my own head, you know. I was thinking about
Yeah.
shit. All right, Sirius says, all right, take a left. All right, take a left. You know, whatever. All of a sudden, I see something in the sky, and I'm like, bro, why is there a plane in St. Cloud? And I'm like, okay, yeah, there's an airport. There's an airport in St. Cloud. It's not that busy.
And they have seasonal.
Yeah.
They have seasonal flights to Phoenix.
But then all of a
Like,
sudden,
yeah.
I'm like, hey, that looks too flat to be an airplane. And I'm like, all right.
Oh, Jesus.
Nah, all right. So I kept driving. I'm just staring at it, bro. I'm staring at it. I'm staring at it this whole time. This was I was about 5 minutes on the one highway, and then I had to turn off, you know? Nah, dude, I'm serious. I had to turn off, but I was staring at it the whole time, turned off, and I was like, all right, I'm going to forget about it. I turned back, kind of went toward Sauk Rapids at that point, went past the Quick Trip and whatever. Turn my head again, and it's still there. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? And all of a sudden, it starts to get wider. And I'm like, dude, am I just like tripping? Did I like? I don't know, bro. I don't even know what I'm thinking at this point. And I just was in my own vibe, my own world at this point, and I'm just looking at this thing, and it's just transforming in front of my eyes. And all of a sudden, I drive farther and farther and farther away, and it's a flock of about 25 geese. Dude, I was like, okay, I've never seen a UFO before. Like, maybe this is like what happens.
Was it in the flying V?
So, dude, it was in like a ball formation. And then that's what I'm saying. When I got farther away, then that's when it was more of a V. And I'm like, okay, now it's spread out, and now it's kind of sus, but now I see it's a deep V with the tails going on. You know what I mean? Like the tails are way back there.
Yeah.
But I saw like a couple weeks ago, even actually, like there's always sightings in like California and Florida, all over the coast, all the time. I never hear anything about like Minnesota or in the middle of the United States. It's always like the coast.
Yeah, there was one a couple of years ago from like New York City where like these people put out videos of, like these like shining lights and everything. And you're like, dude, it's New York City. Like, come on, like
there's skyscrapers and shit anyways, and planes all the time. I'm sure it's New York, right?
Yeah, and like all of a sudden like stars like blink, 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 and there's like, it's a UFO, no doubt. I'm like, my man.
It looks like a plane.
Photoshop exists.
And that too.
Yeah,
and this kind of thing. And
if there were UFOs like aliens, do you think they would invade us right now and try and take us over like Independence Day?
Bro.
Like seriously.
So I feel
as
like,
intelligent as us humans.
Bro,
we got missiles.
I've seen documentaries.
Yeah, and who knows what they have.
Hold up. I've seen documentaries about like numerous presidents who have either definitely had contact with aliens or not. There have been some presidents that have been denied.
Are you about to say Jimmy Carter?
JFK also had connections with the aliens.
Because Jimmy Carter's the number one who comes to mind when you think of aliens.
Dude, this is a whole nother topic that I definitely want to dive into a different time. But did you know, real quick, before we change, Buzz Aldrin, before he died...
He's still alive.
No, not Buzz Aldrin. Fuck. No,
Buzz Aldrin's still alive. Neil Armstrong?
Yes, Neil Armstrong, before he died.
Yeah.
A week before he died, told his wife, when we landed on the moon for the first time, there were alien spacecrafts.
Bullshit.
Promise you. You can Google it right now.
Bullshit.
I'm going to Google it right now. I promise you, dude. That's some fire right there. That is some world-breaking shit, dude. Speaking of fire, though.
Because I remember I was.
Dude, that Daytona crash. So all right, so actually we watched that before we started, dude.
Yeah.
Who was in first? Logano was in second, I believe.
That was crazy.
No.
It was.
Yeah,
Hold on.
dude.
Because I know.
Last lap.
So Michael McDowell was in third place on the final lap. I can't remember who the first people were. I think it was Kyle Busch in second and Logano in first.
Kyle Busch was a little behind.
Was he?
Yeah, he was.
Who was number two? Because number two is the one that went up in flames. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Michael McDowell was just kind of sandwiched in between two different cars on the side railing at the
number two was Keselowski.
It was oh really?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden
Who was the number one car?
before the crash or after?
Before
it was Logano.
Okay,
Logano.
there he was.
Okay, yeah, it was Logano.
And then McDowell came in.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm looking at that little clip where I just see him, give him a little kiss on the butt.
Well,
and then he all of a sudden turns, and all of a sudden, boom, fire erupts. It's kind of like, did he do this on purpose, or was it just like a freak accident, like a bad reaction?
Yeah, he got bumped a little bit. Like, he kind of got sandwiched, so, like, he didn't really
Right
have
in the
anywhere to
corner
go.
of the wall, bro.
Yeah, he didn't really have anywhere to go, so I think he accidentally tapped him. But then you see, after he taps, it looked like he almost sped up and hit him.
So
and that's when it...
I was going to say, like, if it's intentional. Like, if someone's going to, like, crash someone and knock them over, you can look at it and say, okay, that was on purpose.
Yeah, it kind of looked like it was on purpose.
I honestly don't think it was, dude. Because the thing about racing, we talked about this before, how fast are they really going? Is it
180?
300?
180 was what it was.
I knew it was close to 200 miles per hour.
I've done 120 one time, and that was fucking
Bro,
holy shit.
my Impala,
120!
It's not even that fast, dude.
My
but it
Impala-
felt like, holy shit, this is fast.
Hey, when I was a kid, me and my dad, we went to Homestead, Florida, on the Homestead racetrack, and we were able to get out on the track and with my dad's truck, and we literally flew at like So he said, okay, we'll let you in, but we're going to have like a car like run in front of you so you don't like,
Whatever.
push it too far.
Yeah.
And we got up to at least 140 miles per hour. And we were,
Really?
me and my dad's close friend's kid were in the back and we're like, holy shit, we are flying right
dude.
now.
Because I've only gone 125 max because my Impala, within the first like 2 weeks I got my car, I got my
Maxed
license.
it out.
Yeah, bro. I took this old county road, this old this paved county road.
See how
No one's ever
fast
around
you
there.
can go.
Yeah, I hammered it down. No stop signs. It went to 125. My car dinged. It went ding, ding, ding. Car max 125. And I'm like, dude, what? Cars
Yeah.
have max speeds
Oh,
on
Yeah,
them?
dude, you think you're going fast? Try hitting a NASCAR or an IndyCar drive.
180, 200.
Do you think you could handle that hitting the turns
bro.
too?
And that's exactly what I'm saying, dude. So McDowell was trying to speed up and trying to, win the race. I mean, if he's in third place at this point, why would he not win it? Try to win it, whatever. Maybe he's trying to get around him. I don't know if he was trying to turn or not, but he was trying to obviously speed up to catch up and hits the back of the car in front of him, which was Kalowski, right? We said,
Yeah.
right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And I can't remember, but he hit the back of him the first time, and I feel like you're going 200 miles per hour with a NASCAR with the moving car, and
Yeah.
it was kind of about to go on a turn. If you have a little bump like that going at
It
200
puts
miles
you
per
off,
hour,
yeah.
you're gonna spin out no matter what.
Motorsports
And I think,
are the most
yeah,
dangerous.
and I think that first initial bump that I don't think was intentional
Yep.
caused the second one.
And then he tapped Logano.
And then the second one just spun the whole car around. It wasn't until the second hit from the second and third place car with McDowell, the third place car. But at that point, I feel like it just was over at that point because just kind of, what do you want to say, inertia at that point. You're just kind of moving with your car at 200
Yep.
miles per hour. That slight little bump
And you
just messed
tense
up
up.
everything.
And like people tend to tense up. When you tense up, that's where it's bad if you get in a car
Yep.
accident. I don't know. So this is IndyCar, but have you ever seen the video of Dan Weldon's death?
No.
It was bad. Like IndyCar is very dangerous. When you compare it to NASCAR, you have a bigger car, you have more borders. IndyCar,
Yep.
you have this little tiny thing. Like it's like a little dart.
Yep.
Like if
Big
you
ass
get hit
tires.
badly, you're in for a bad time. In the words
Yeah.
of that South Park episode, skiing. You're in for a bad time.
Dude. Dude, I just realized that I bought like the whole South Park like 5th season on DVD the other day, and I plugged it in.
The other day.
Literally the other day, I bought it like 3 years ago, and like obviously I moved it from house to house in college and whatever. I bought it on Black Friday for $2, long time ago, and I put it in my Xbox last night. Dude, I have the Towley episode.
That's
Which
awesome.
on
one?
that season.
Which
the
one?
Towley one?
Which one?
The
There's a
Towley
lot
one
of them.
where
Probably the first one.
No, so like the main one where it's like he's like a CIA. He's wanted by the
Wanna
CIA
get high?
or whatever. That's him the whole time, bro.
I'm just gonna
You
need
know
a
what
little get behind.
I think the best one is probably when he went on the TV show and he's like, I'm not a towel. You're a towel.
Wait,
When he wrote his book.
are you talking about the intervention one where like
Yeah.
they did the?
That's what
Oh
it
my
was.
god!
Yeah, dude.
And he wrote his own book and he's like, what can make this book better? I walked down the street and they saw that I was a shining towel. And he backspaces it and he says, shining human. This'll work.
I do remember in that one episode, I think it was Jimmy and Timmy, or Nathan.
Wait,
They
who's
did the-
Nathan, bro? What? In South Park?
Nathan.
He's the guy who always does this, like with the face. He looks like this.
He
He's like,
does- what-
he's like, I finally got it, Mimsy. I finally got it.
No, that's Jimmy.
No, that's Nathan.
Timmy.
Yeah, that's Timmy.
Timmy.
No, Nathan's the guy who always looks in the top right and left corners of his eyes like, I finally got it, Mimsy.
Oh, I know what you're talking
I know.
about.
How do we
Yeah,
get
yeah,
rid
I
of
know
that
what you're
Jimmy
talking
kid?
Funny.
And so they try to do the canoe race, and so Mimsy's job was to put a black mamba, the second most venomous snake in the world, in their canoe, but Mimsy, being the idiot he is, put it in their own canoe. And he was like, Mimsy, I thought I told you to put it in the other canoe. He's like, you didn't tell me what canoe to put it in, boss. And then so they jump out. So they jump out of the canoe, and then like a camp counselor knocks on a porta potty door. He's like, "Hey, where's the towel?" And Towel's like, "Hey, I not just a second. He's like, not just a second. We have wet campers out there. What's going on? He kicks open the door and Tally's like giving a head to like a homeless guy.
What the
Dude,
fuck?
I haven't watched South Park in a minute, to be honest. And that,
Dude.
they took it off of Hulu. Did you see that?
Yeah, probably because it's
Juice?
too offensive.
No,
No.
they took it off Hulu because they moved to HBO Max.
What are the South Park making its own streaming service?
No, South Park moved to HBO Max.
Oh my god.
HBO Max does look kind of lit though.
It does.
It does, actually. I've been thinking about getting it, but it's like $10-15 a month, isn't it?
What do you get with HBO Max though? Is it like anything cool?
There's a lot of stuff that moved there. I just don't even. I don't even know because I know Peacock has The Office. That's where a lot of stuff has moved to too, like Parks and Rec, some of those kind of shows.
Yep.
But I don't know. There are definitely multiple shows that are on.
Oh yeah, you
HBO.
got
Wait a
Game
minute.
of Thrones. Yeah, South
Really?
Park. I get. Yeah,
I know
that's
South
always
Park,
been
but
on Titans.
I didn't know
that's
Game
a
of-
decent one.
Ah, you are right.
Yeah. So they must got rid of HBO Go then?
Yeah, because I know that. Yes, I know they got rid of. They had an HBO whatever premium.
They had a
Go,
bunch of
whatever it was.
HBO
Yes.
ones, yeah.
And then they just upgraded it since they got more stuff. They've been like reclaiming shows and making more deals recently and different stuff like that.
Oh yeah, the Joker. All the Joker DC looks like is on there most stuff. Yeah, South Park.
South Park again.
Practical Jokers. That's
They got a
good
bunch of
one.
classics on there. Dude.
So what do you guys think? The big news in the NFL today: Carson Wentz getting traded to the Indianapolis Colts. Do you think that was the right move, or do you think it was the bad? Who gets the better end of the deal?
Wait, that actually happened?
Yeah, it did. What? You didn't see it?
No, I didn't
Dude,
know it
the
actually
Carson
happened.
Wentz trade.
Yeah, Carson Wentz is going to the Indianapolis Colts
Oh
now.
my goodness, dude. That's wild. I think that's definitely a good trade for the Colts and the Eagles. They got Jalen Hurts. You don't need Carson Wentz. Jalen Hurts is their sorry, hold on. Jalen Hurts is their new franchise quarterback. That dude is electric, bro.
Is he, though?
He's electric.
I thought Hurts was a wide receiver.
No, he's a quarterback. Just
but
shut
he
your face.
plays wide receiver? Or
No,
what?
no, get out of here.
What?
So Jalen
Am I
Hurts
tripping?
is first of all electric. Second of all, I think it was a good trade because they don't need two starting quarterbacks. They need one. And the Colts are trying to cash in because they have a top 10 defense. They have some of the best
They
receivers
have the number
in the
one
NFL.
defense. They have the number one defense.
Was it the number one this
by
last year?
statistics, they were the best team.
This-
You had them on fantasy,
I
dude. They did them
They were
good
a
for you
beast.
this season.
Yep. I don't know
They
if
did
they're going to
great.
be number one this next year, but top 10 for sure.
Absolutely. So Jalen Hurts stats. How many games did he start? 3 or 4?
No, I thought it was mid-season, wasn't it?
I think it was like around 6 or 5. So here were his stats for the regular season.
Yeah.
6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and 1,061 passing yards.
Maybe he didn't play that many games.
Yeah, but like, do you say like that's elite? Like to bring a guy in, throw 6
He's a
touchdowns
rookie.
with 4? Yeah, but still, like, how can you say the future? Like, this is what we need. Like, this is the guy. Like, you know, when Alex Smith was the quarterback for the Chiefs, and then Mahomes went in.
Yep.
He did average. Like, he didn't do horrible. He
didn't do great,
Mahomes did
yeah.
above average. I correct that.
Yep.
But you have Hurts throwing 6 touchdowns for 4 interceptions. How do you know that this guy is going to be the guy in Philadelphia?
Well, and that's true, but
And the Eagles do have the 6th overall pick in the NFL draft this coming year.
and that's what I think they're trying to do. I think they're just trying to capitalize on this unique situation they have and try to see, okay, if we go with Jalen Hurts, let's give him a good line. Let's give him some weapons because Eagles need some fucking weapons, first of all.
Oh, yeah, but they're $41.5 million over the cap space, and they're going to have to let go of some veterans. You got Alshon Jeffrey for $8 million, Deshaun Jackson for 5.1.
That's what I'm saying. And
Goodwin,
how many games-
4.5. Zach Ertz for 4.7. He's only
Wow.
getting paid that much?
How many?
Oh my God.
How many games have Deshaun Jackson and Jeffrey played? 'Cause
None. They
Jackson
should drop
played
them right now.
Was Jackson hurt this year?
Kind of. He's always hurt.
Did he play them?
He played a couple
They
games.
both only played 4, maybe 5 games of the regular
Jackson
season.
only played 4 games?
Promise you.
Huh.
Promise you, bro. I never
what
heard
about
his name
Ertz?
once.
But what about Ertz?
Fantasy-wise, Ertz is the only decent player fantasy. If you want to talk fantasy-wise, you know, as like a player to grab kind of thing.
Yep.
Not even the top. I wouldn't even say a top tight end, but he's maybe a player you could have
Top
on your
3.
team.
Top 3 tight end.
You think so?
Yes.
I
That
mean,
Him,
Ertz right
Kelsey,
now?
Ertz, and
no,
Hunter Henry?
I would pick up.
yeah.
I would. He's maybe a top 10. Ertz is maybe a top 10. The
I'd give him
Philadelphia
top 10.
offense, and of course we're talking about next year. But
Yeah.
I don't think Ertz did that much production this year, fantasy wise.
well, you had Carson Wentz struggling all
Exactly.
season.
Exactly.
And Josh
That's true.
even remembers 2 years ago when Wentz was having that MVP season.
Yep.
I literally said to him, like, dude, Carson Wentz is overrated.
I don't think so.
And he said to me, he's like, Justin, you're full of it. Like, look at the season he's having. He's going to be the next big thing. I'm like, just wait. Now look at him.
I don't know,
He
man.
looks like a
I think-
complete jobber.
I think he's going to excel in Indy. They have an awesome offensive line. They have
Okay.
some of the best weapons in receiving core.
They do.
They have one of the best upcoming running backs.
Who?
God, what's his name?
With the Eagles?
With the
With the
Colts.
Colts.
You had him on fantasy.
Oh my god, dude. Akers.
Jonathan
no.
Taylor.
Taylor, yes, Jonathan
Who?
Taylor.
Best
Jonathan
upcoming
Taylor, bro?
play-
Yes.
Who?
From
Yes.
Wisconsin.
Are you kidding me?
Who?
I did have him on fantasy.
Yep, he was a rookie, bro.
He got 10 points a game. He sometimes got 20. He was good. He was a good pick for me because I picked him in 8th, 10th round.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
no one even knew him at that point. That's why I wanted.
And you
him,
got still got Marlon Mack if he stays with them.
Well, did he quit the season because of COVID or what? Was
No,
the deal
he
again?
just he was just
injured?
hurt.
Okay,
He just
that's
hurt.
Okay.
So you got them. Then you got a top next season wise top 10 defense next season.
Yep,
All you
easily.
need is a quarterback. So why not, as a head coach, go back to the guy who you helped get an MVP season to, almost an MVP season to, in Carson Wentz from the Eagles, because the Colts head coach was the Eagles offensive coordinator when Wentz had that almost MVP season.
Is that Jim Schwartz?
Whoever the
Because I know Pagano's been gone for a while. When I think of that, when I think of Colts head coach, I think of Chuck Pagano.
Frank Reich.
Who?
Frank Reich. He was the Eagles offensive coordinator when Wentz had that almost MVP season before he tore his ACL.
Yep.
Almost MVP.
Correct.
How did you have an almost?
He would
because
have
of
been the
that
MVP
injury.
unless
If he didn't, that game
Sure.
against the Rams where he was like going for a rushing touchdown, he
Yep.
like dove for the touchdown. Two guys.
If he
like,
wouldn't have
clashed
tore
his
his
knee.
ACL, even if he had a bogus end of the season, he would have still been MVP.
If he had a bogus last two games,
Like if they won the last couple games, but he just didn't do much, he still would have got MVP.
that's
Like they just ran it and whatever, but they still won and kicked field goals.
He was MVP quality for sure. But so he's the new Indianapolis Colts head coach. So now he goes out, get his almost MVP from last season, or from back then, and says, "Hey, we got a good team. All we need is a quarterback. Can we rely on you?" Hell yeah, we can.
I will just say it's been a crazy last 4 years for the Indianapolis Colts.
That's for
Going
sure,
from
dude.
Andrew Luck, shockingly
That's for
announcing
sure. Yep.
retirement.
Yep, out of nowhere.
Nobody expected him to retire.
That's
so
definitely
so
for
when
sure.
that first season happened, you had Jacoby Brissett. He was the third string quarterback for the New England Patriots. He was average, like he did okay. I think they went 6-10 that season. I could be wrong.
Sure.
And then the season after that, they had a big pickup. They picked up Phillip Rivers. They made the playoffs, and they lost to the Ravens, I think. I'm pretty sure. And wow, Phillip Rivers is now retired. And there's a lot
that's
of
crazy.
And there's a lot
They
of
lost to
debate.
the Bills in this last
Bills?
playoffs.
Yep, the last playoffs.
Yeah, in the super wild card.
You think
Yeah, it
Rivers
was.
is gonna go Hall of Fame?
He will.
Oh, yeah,
I think
all
he
day.
really will.
All day. Easy.
And he will go down as the greatest quarterback to never play in the
Correct.
Super Bowl.
Correct.
To
Interesting.
never play in the Super Bowl, he will be. No
Agreed.
matter how many kids he has. What is
Agreed.
it, like 9 or 10?
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Really?
You see what Adrian Peterson tweeted the other day?
What?
He's like, I'm gonna keep playing until I break Steve Smith's record. And
Steve Smith.
or who's the number one guy for
Emmett
rushing
Smith?
yards? Emmett Smith.
Emmitt Smith.
I knew it was a Smith.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep. Yeah.
Until I break his record, and I'm still chasing that championship.
Which
He's-
record? All-time rushing yards or
Yeah.
all-purpose yards?
Probably both. If I know AP from when AP was in Minnesota,
Because rushing touchdowns, he's not getting that. No way.
it's yards.
Okay.
I'm sure he's chasing everything right now.
I'm sure, and that's the kind of thing when you're with sports too. Why would you not?
Is he a free agent right now? Or
No, he's still with the Lions.
He's with the Lions. How many years did they sign him with?
I think
Was it a 1 year?
I don't know, dude, but I still think that's nuts that he was on the Redskins to begin with the year,
Yeah.
and he didn't do shit, and then
Went to the
fantasy-wise,
Lions and
he got some touchdowns, bro. He was the down back, bro.
Well, according to these stats, he has 4,000 yards to go to break that record, but Frank Gore is 2,000 yards ahead of him. Frank Gore is still active.
That is very true.
Yeah, and I don't know if the Jets are going to be keeping Frank Gore.
Do you think
He
Frank
doesn't
Gore's got to retire pretty
retire.
soon, bro?
Dude, he is old.
I think AP's still got it.
He may, yeah.
I think
I think he's got 2 years left.
I think he'll be like a maybe 1,000-yard season guy. Couple touchdowns, sure, but I don't know if he's going to put out like 2,000 yards anymore.
So what do you guys think? Here's the real question. Do the New England Patriots keep Cam Newton, or do they try to make a move for Deshaun Watson or anybody else?
Do they
How long
even
do they
have the
have him?
cap space for Deshaun Watson?
Yeah,
That's the biggest question
Nobody
right
has
there.
the cap space for Deshaun
true.
Watson.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Cam,
Vikings,
they
baby.
only signed a 1-year deal, and I'm not going to
Bring
say
Watson to Minnesota, baby. Let's see it, huh? Let's see it, huh?
But so as a diehard New England Patriots fan, I've really watched Cam every game this
Wait,
year.
you're a Patriots fan?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you didn't know Justin until now,
Everybody's
obviously.
going to
But
listen to
anyways,
this knows this. So from
He's
what I
literally
saw
wearing a
from
Bruin
Cam,
shirt right now, like Boston proud, bro.
Boston strong, baby. So from what I saw from Cam this season, so obviously all three of us will agree this was a very weird NFL season. There was no preseason,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So if you look at it from both sides, Cam Newton last season got demoted to backup to, I think his name was Kyle Allen.
Mm-hmm.
And the New England Patriots moving on from their quarterback who won them 6 Super Bowls.
And
the
won
consensus,
a Super Bowl this year.
correct. And the consensus greatest of all time. You have to agree that's a huge change in both directions.
Yep.
So you wouldn't expect complete perfection on the first season.
You think they keep him?
I honestly do think they should keep him because if you look at him,
who do they have as a backup?
they have Jared Stidham and
Yeah,
I know Josh is about to laugh at me, Brian Hoyer.
Oh yeah.
Brian Hoyer's
Did you guys know
terrible,
Tim
bro.
Tebow when
He retired from baseball 2 days ago.
Yes.
Wow.
I saw he was in the MLB. What team was it for? But
The
he was
Mets.
On the,
No, he wasn't in the MLB. He was
correct.
for like their
He was
third
in
minor
the
team.
Yeah, he was in the second or third
Third.
Yeah, minor league team. but
Complete journeyman.
He retired, bro.
Wow.
But that is
Journeyman. How can you go from being the quarterback of the Denver Broncos, not throwing perfect spirals,
Exactly.
to being an outfielder for the
But
journeyman?
he
three
retired.
string
But he
Mets?
retired too, huh?
Yeah, he just retired from
Dude,
baseball.
When do you think Big Ben is gonna retire, bro? Roethlisberger, baby.
He's
I think
around.
he's got a year or two.
He's like 30.
But so okay,
Seven?
but the Steelers aren't thinking about keeping him right now. I mean,
That's okay.
He did. They did good at the beginning of the season. And to be honest, I think
They
we were all
started
kind
off
of
11-0.
Yeah, bro. But then they figured it out. Oh yeah, they just throw the ball, bro.
Dude, they were
throw
the biggest
same plays.
They
throw
were the
same
biggest
ball.
frauds of the entire season.
Yep.
Yep, they were overhyped. They threw the same ball to the same people, and it was nothing that special. Do you think there's so many talks about him not even being there this next year? I don't know if they have a contract thing
He'd
or
get
not.
picked up in free agency though.
By
No,
who?
honestly,
Jets.
Anyone, I guess. I
any
guess it depends on
any
the price.
quarterback that goes to the Jets is willing to die. I mean, look at Sam Darnold
Yeah.
right now. My best friend from back home is just saying, like, oh, Sam Darnold's going to be the next biggest thing. The Jets
Dude,
will
that
be in the
guy's
Super Bowl
terrible.
2 years from now. He said that 3 years ago. Oh, look at how the Jets are looking
Dude,
now.
they're
Jets are absolute
terrible.
trash.
Dude, I honestly,
Terrible. They're worse than the Browns when they went, or the Lions when they went 0-16.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I honestly think that like even the owner of the Steelers, bro, is kind of hoping that he just retires. Because how do you get rid of like I wouldn't say maybe he's quite in the GOAT bracket, bro, but he's
Not quite.
definitely
He's
pretty
38
close.
years old.
close, bro.
It's
He's
pretty close.
he is
He's-
damn close, bro. They've won a Super Bowl at least.
Couple.
Yeah.
If not 2, I was gonna
Yep.
say.
2. He's won 2 with the
but-
Steelers against the Seahawks and
do you
against
think, do you
the
think like
Cardinals.
Mike Tomlin and like even the owner are just kind of hoping he would retire? Because how far do you push a player that's past their prime? Just You know, how
Once
do you
Well,
win anymore
well,
if
well-
the player's going downhill? You know?
Well, the same question could be asked about Tom Brady. You know, when he was going through a bad struggle, people were questioning, like, is it over for him? And every
very
single
true.
time,
Same with Aaron
he's
Rodgers
proved
too.
them wrong.
Yeah,
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers this year definitely had a comeback year. I was definitely not into him this whole
And I
the
do-
beginning of this year, bro.
I
And
felt for Aaron Rodgers because I had him on fantasy and he
Yeah,
won me
I know.
3rd place.
Yes.
If only my team showed up against Josh when Kamara got me 55 points.
Yeah, and good
Yeah,
thing I
I'm
got
looking
first.
at
But
you.
anyways, you're
Yeah,
listening
fuck
to a podcast with the top 3 winners in fantasy football right now. So
Yeah.
what's up?
You're
pretty
you're in the
special.
presence of greatness right now,
yeah,
people. All
of
right.
course.
Good thing we didn't bring this up on the last episode.
You're on the winners podcast. We're
Yeah.
gonna name this the winners.
We might have had a
podcast.
couple salty Sallies in the room on
Yeah,
the last one.
right.
Yeah, Cole.
So-
Cole was not very.
What do you get,
happy,
like 8th?
bro? At least.
So I have a question.
Minimum.
So I have a question for Trenton right now.
what you got?
What is your prediction for Jake Paul versus Ben Askren on April 18th?
Ben Askren?
Yeah.
Bro. Bro, come on, dude. Jake Paul's been training with who recently? Who's the dude that just knocked out Ben Askren in what was it 5-4 seconds? What's his name
The
again?
Bamp?
Journeyman George Masvidal.
Exactly, bro. Jake Paul's got a whole new move. It might take, you know,
flying
he
knee.
might last 2 rounds.
You know you can't use knees in boxing, right?
Bro, I know. But listen, hear me out. It might last 2 rounds. It might last 3. But if we see 4, I don't know, bro. I don't think so. I
You don't think
so.
what? You don't think what?
Dude, Ben Askren has got some tiny
Jake
hands,
Paul isn't
bro.
a fighter.
Ben Askren has some tiny
Jake
hands.
Paul isn't a fighter.
Bro.
So-
You have not seen-
so
He
if-
fought a washed-up
so,
basketball
hold
player.
up.
a
I need to
washed-up
look-
NBA dunk contest champion.
I need to look at Ben Askren's tapes again, but the tapes I've seen recently for this current fight, I've not seen anything in about a week and a half.
Yeah, he's not showing
So-
the good shit.
Absolutely nothing, bro.
He's
So
not
if
showing
he
the
has-
good
He's
stuff.
if punches were a whisper, bro, that's kind of him. He's just like,
You talking
oh,
about
hey,
that one?
hey,
if-
Jake Paul, bro. Hey, check this out.
You talking about the one with Jake Paul's, face on it?
bro?
Dude, those weren't
Yeah,
real
bro.
punches. Get out
Bro,
of here.
He's got nothing.
Yeah, I
bro. He's a
remember.
tiny
I remember
man.
when
Fake
when
punches.
Ben
Tiny
Askren
man.
when Ben Askren posted that video of him like punching like the Jake Paul punching bag.
Yeah.
Jake Paul responded, he's like, "Tuck your chin."
Those weren't real punches, bro.
They
those
weren't.
were totally
and
fake.
the thing is, if you're gonna say Ben Askren's not a legit fighter, how did he win the Bellator welterweight championship and the one championship welterweight championship? He has to have some stand up because if he didn't have any stand up, he wouldn't have won that title. You can call yourself a grappler at the end of the day. You still need to know how to stand up and punch
Yeah,
people.
bro. I
Yeah.
just don't think he's got the hits like that, dude. I'm looking right now. So
Okay.
Ben Askren is only 5'11". Jake Paul's 6'1". Jake Paul also has a 76-inch reach.
That doesn't
and,
mean
Ben
anything.
Askren is 72. Doesn't mean anything. That he doesn't have 4
So,
extra
Mike-
inches.
so, 2
he
weeks
doesn't have 4 extra inches to
So-
hit the top of his nose.
But Ben Askren's a real fighter.
So did you watch UFC 257, the co-main event?
No, I didn't even watch 1 through 273. So, no.
So an
Sorry,
up and comer,
Dustin.
he was the Bellator champion. Michael Chandler made his UFC debut against Dan Hooker. And if you've seen Dan Hooker, he's a very lengthy guy. He's about 6'2", has like a really long reach, and Michael Chandler's smaller than me. He's like 5'6", small ass hands, and he was the guy pressuring him the whole time, like getting in, coming in. First round, knocks him out because he learned how to control the distance and get in. Reach is one thing if you know how to work
Use
with
it.
that reach, if you
Yeah.
know how to get in there, reach doesn't matter.
Bro.
Like
I
you
don't
can't
know,
just look at the
dude.
tail of the tape and say, "Oh, he has the reach, so he's gonna
Dude.
win." If you know how to get in on that reach, then you're the guy who's gonna do
Hear me
it.
out, dude.
Yeah, let me hear you
when,
out.
When you're Jake Paul and you got that Disney Channel money, bro.
That Disney
You got
Channel
that
money.
Disney Channel.
He's not worth
funds,
$50
bro.
million. I'm just gonna say that
Bro,
right now.
he had the proof of funds. He put all that
Where was
Disney.
it?
He
Where
put all
was it?
that Disney money into Tesla when it was $5, bro. No, I have no idea, but nah, bro.
So-
Dude,
so-
I really think he's got some, dude. He's got that much money. He's got that much money for real trainers. You know what I mean? For real trainers, real people,
Okay.
a real team to back him up, dude. He has Logan Paul's whole Maverick team. Who's his trainer? Who's Logan Paul's trainer right now? What's his name? What's his name?
You
Hold on.
can shut your fucking mouth.
Well, what's his name, Justin?
Who?
Mosley. Something.
Shane Mosley?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. okay, you can pay as much money as you want for training with the right coaches. Those coaches aren't going in the ring to fight with you. Doesn't matter. It's all you. You're the one going in the ring. They can train you as much as you want. Your coaches aren't going in there.
When you spar against Ben Askren's sparring buddy and knock him out under a round, what does that say?
Wait, what?
Exactly.
Who knocked out Ben Askren?
Jake Paul? No.
Which sparring partner knocked out Ben Askren?
Don't know the names. Of course, Jake Paul always says it. Doesn't say names, unfortunately. So I can't do that. I know what you're gonna say.
I'm just gonna say
it could be Jake Johnson. Like,
I just
you
don't-
knocked out Jake Johnson. Yeah,
I
this
just
guy
don't-
that fights with Ben Askren all the time and spars with him. I have no idea what his
I
name
just
is,
don't
bro,
understand
but-
how Jake Paul, his first fight, he knocks out another YouTuber, and then
His second. He has had 3 fights now.
no, 2 professional.
Okay,
Two professional.
He had one. Yeah, he
Amateur.
Had
One
Amateurs
with
have
his
one.
buddy in the backyard.
Yeah.
one. No, he
Basically,
had one.
that was the case, then every MMA
it was,
fighter would have
It
one.
was live streamed, but it was an amateur fight. But it was still live streamed on a real
With his
platform.
best
He didn't
friend.
get paid for it, so it's amateur. So how can you tell me, you're calling out Conor McGregor, so you do beat another YouTuber.
Bro, if he beats Ben
Guy
Askren,
whoever-
if he beats Ben Askren,
Shut up and let me talk.
McGregor's next.
Shut me. So you beat another YouTuber. I'm gonna get to that in a
That was
minute.
a disgusted
I
face.
just cringed to that.
I know,
first
it was a
comment.
disgusted face.
So
Keep going.
another
Okay.
YouTuber, I forget his name exactly why, and then you knock out an NBA journeyman in Nate Robinson,
NBA journeyman.
who his resume, Jake Paul Plants, he won the NBA dunk contest 3 times. And I'm just like, whoa, the dunk contest. Yeah, no one was there to stuff you, pal. And like, now you're throwing this guy in who's never fought a day in his life. And you're like, okay, I've had a boxing match. I'm going to knock this guy out. You do knock him out. And now you're saying, okay, I'm going to go from 0 to 100. I want Conor McGregor. You're like, I got $50 million off. Bro, you're not even worth $50 million, all right? Like, everything that's going right now with all these celebrity boxing matches is what's killing the sport of boxing right now. Like, that event, Jake Paul with Nate Robinson, the main event, how can you, for boxing, to say, hey, 53-year-old Mike Tyson, come out of retirement to fight 49-year-old Roy Jones Jr. You guys have been retired. Mike Tyson, you haven't fought in 15 years. Roy Jones, you haven't fought in 2 years. That just tells me like how desperate the boxing promoters are for money.
Well,
because
they don't have
because
any
if
good
you look
fighters right
because
now.
if you look at the boxing, they're trying to grab as much money as they can for one show, just make it out alive. And then because they guarantee the money before the fight, they say you're going to make this much money, nothing else.
Is there more if you win or lose
Okay,
or
but
no?
question for you though.
No.
Doesn't
Question
matter.
for you though. How many other than Floyd Mayweather boxers can you name right now?
All right, so we have Canelo Alvarez, Tyson Fury.
You're asking the
Deontay
man of
Wilder.
the sport right now. How
Okay.
that's like asking me, can you name a professional soccer player that's not in the U.S.? Of course, I can name 50 of them. Like, that doesn't make sense.
No, but you get my point. Is that as many as there are of
The
that,
average Joe.
Like you do have the big names in boxing, obviously
That's
the Canelos, the Roy Jones Jr.'s.
So I think when McGregor lost his last fight, bro,
to Dustin.
Dana White had a heart attack. Maybe he was sad. Maybe he was depressed. I don't know. But how can he make any more money off a fighter that now has a loss?
Why? Because now a new star is born because he beat Conor McGregor.
Correct.
You think
A
so?
new star is born, baby.
Dude,
so?
I looked at Dustin Poirier's Instagram the day before and after the fight. His followers jumped up by like 500,000.
His followers on
Like-
Instagram.
Yes.
Oh, guess what?
Like, dude,
what does that do for Dana White?
What does that
Nothing.
do for Dana White? And next time Dustin Poirier has a fight, they're just always gonna remember this is the guy who beat Conor McGregor.
They're gonna
How do you think?
advertise
How
it
do you
so
think?
heavy.
How
They're
do
gonna
you, how do
they're
you
gonna
think?
do a rematch. I bet you. In
Yeah,
2
they have to
years.
do a trilogy because
Yeah,
in
like,
2014, Dustin and Conor both fought, and Conor knocked him out in the first round, talking his mad shit to everybody,
Yep.
doing all that. And then they came back this month in January 2021, and now Dustin knocks him out. Why not do a trilogy? Now it's 1-1 with both knockouts. It's meant to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
And the
knockout
third
punches.
one, so now Conor has 2 trilogies he can work with. He can work with the Dustin Poirier one, he can work with the Nate Diaz
He's
one.
still lost.
What's that?
He's still lost.
Okay. Well, Connor lost to Nate Diaz the first time. Then Diaz gave him a rematch.
Really?
Connor won, and there's been talks of trilogy ever since. But Diaz has been like AWOL ever since.
Bro, that's been like the KSI and Logan Paul thing, bro.
Who?
Okay.
Oh, KSI, the British guy.
Yeah.
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 That
No one
rhymes.
gives a fuck about the British, dude. But dude, Logan Paul and Mayweather, it was delayed a little bit more. We talked about this a little bit before we started, actually.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. But I've just heard something from obviously Logan Paul's team, more so that they delayed it due to like Mayweather's promotion team. They want to reach out to a couple more outlets and promote it, and some of it's to do with the virus. And they wanted to get a big venue in Florida because the restrictions are so low there out of any states of the U.S., so they want to have a big turnout and they want more time to pass and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know if you've heard anything or not, but
I'm just gonna say what's on everybody's mind. Does Logan Paul really know what he's getting himself into?
bro,
I don't think so.
dude. So Logan Paul had Mike Tyson on a podcast, bro.
Yeah, he did.
Did you hear
But
that?
but did he fight Mike Tyson?
No,
Now he's gonna fight
no.
Floyd
So
Mayweather.
I think it's funny, and to be honest, I think Jake Paul has a good chance against Askren. To be completely honest, but
I mean,
Logan
yeah.
Paul, when Mike Tyson had him on there, Logan's friend was like, "Hey, so do you think he really has a chance?" And Mike Tyson was like, "Bro, fuck no. He has no
Zero
chance against a
chance.
dude that's
Not
done this
even
40
close.
times. How many Mayweather's done this 44 times? Am I exaggerating that? I don't know.
I want to see the DraftKings odds for that.
Yeah,
like how
it's
much of
gonna
an
be
underdog
so
Logan is.
Bro,
Dude.
you might as well throw like $10 into Logan Paul
And you'll win like 10
You
grand.
would,
For
bro.
real.
You would. You really would.
It would be basically like me stepping in and having a fight with UFC fighter Diego Sanchez, who's like 39 years old.
Yeah, okay,
Season 1
but-
Ultimate Fighter winner, completely washed up now, and you putting me in there with him. Like, that would be the odds. Like, you may as well. It's not even worth, for the Logan Paul and Floyd, it's not even worth betting money on
Betting on
Floyd.
him?
Literally nothing. If you put like $10, you're going to make like,
$1 maybe off.
no,
Yeah.
not even. Maybe like 15 cents. It's
Yeah.
not worth
Yeah.
it. At that point, you may as well just throw $1 on the underdog,
Bro.
where you'll win bank.
I might. Well, the thing that sucks. Have you tried doing any online gambling since you've been in Minnesota? I've tried. Minnesota.
sports?
Yeah, Minnesota doesn't let you.
Yeah, but you still have those sites.
I know. I still
DraftKings
do
and MyBookie.
FanDuel and DraftKings.
MGM.
MyBookie doesn't let you do it either.
You can do it on MGM.
I've done it with MyBookie before.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, actually I tried MBookie, bro. My credit card called me a minute after and said, "Yeah, you tried to purchase something, we're not letting it go through." And I was like, "Bro, are you kidding me?
shit.
I'm trying to win some money, bro."
Well, that's
And they're
because
like,
you use a whack bank.
bro, that and so the crazy thing about them is it's a foreign company. They're based off of like Egypt or something, Israel or India or something. I have no idea what you're whispering, but
Yeah. Yeah.
What
But
the
whatever. So, so yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but
But yeah, it will tell me that like sports gambling has really taken off. Sports gambling has taken off. It's crazy. Like-
yeah. And 3-second pause so we can cut it.
3-second pause? Come on.
no, but
All right, so Josh, who are you betting on? So who's your money on? Ben Askren or Jake Paul?
I've been asking all day.
Ben Askren.
Jake Paul, baby.
How much are you
Easy.
putting on? Well, no shit. You're the biggest Jake Paul fanboy out there.
Bro. Justin, I will bet you $10 right now on Venmo. $10 Venmo right now. If Ben Askren wins, I owe you $10. If Jake Paul wins, you owe me $20. What do you
Why?
think about that? Because of the betting odds, baby. What do you mean? What
Jake
you mean?
Paul's the favorite. So that means
Jake Paul's the favorite?
Yes, he is.
So then why are you even doubting him in the slightest?
Because he doesn't know how to train like a real fighter.
Well, when is that fight date?
When is that fight?
Yeah, when's that fight?
I think
bro?
it's April 18th.
Is it April? It is in April.
So you gonna
100%.
pay him $20?
We're gonna find out what happens, but yeah, check us out in April. We're gonna have Justin back on for that.
For sure.
Come
Yes,
catch
we
us.
will.
Nah, we're gonna have him on before that even.
For all the guests, remember my name. It's Justin Catanazzo. No
Jake
middle
Cat, baby.
name.
JCat, baby.
JK.
Let's go, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of all we got for now. Just definitely keep up with us. We're gonna keep grinding this shit out. We're gonna be more active on Facebook. We're gonna try and set some other stuff up here soon. Just keep up with us, and you know how it goes. We'll see you guys next time.
And a big shout out to Trent and Josh for having me on today. Good talk, guys.
Hell
Awesome.
Good talk, buddy. I guess we're out then.
Peace.
Yeah, see
I
you
like
guys.
how she move it. I like how she move it. I got that new whip. Jose the dude trip. I like how she move it. I like how she move it.